Next on the show, Clint Chaboyer's life changed forever when he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 2 years ago. It, of course, is a neurological disease that affects the central nervous system. For the drummer and concert promoter, an MS diagnosis could have meant the end of his passion for playing, but instead, he says, he's fighting back. For the past 8 years, he's held an annual 90s tribute concert that's raised over $50,000 for local charities. But now, funds raised will go toward fighting MS. And Clint's with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
What was your concern like, Clint, when you get this diagnosis of MS? Did you immediately thought about how it might affect your playing the drums?
Yes. I didn't really know too much about MS, so it was kind of a pretty big learning curve in more than one way. But I'm just doing what my doctors say, and so far it's been manageable. So big thing now is just focusing right now on raising some money to go towards MS research.
Tell me a little bit about how your awareness grew, given that obviously that's also what you're promoting here is that people understand why the research is needed. What did you not know about MS that, once you were diagnosed, you really came to understand?
Well, I guess all the little bit that I did know was just, seeing or hearing stories of people with MS that were pretty much, bedridden, I guess, which isn't necessarily the case. I didn't know that there was 4 different types of MS, and they're all pretty different. So mine is relapsing remitting MS, which means it's up and down. It comes and goes with you have relapses every so often. So I'm on some pretty good medications so far and following my MS doctor says, and so far I'm managing the relapses pretty good. I haven't had one since December of 2021, so
that's amazing.
Yeah. But like I still have symptoms that because the medication doesn't take away anything that's happened already. It just stops it from progressing from where it's at. So I'm lucky that they caught it fairly quickly where my symptoms aren't too bad so far. So, yeah, it's been pretty manageable.
Do you get any of a lot of people, from what they understand about MS, they can imagine the spasming of muscles, of course. Have you had that affect your hands at all when you're drumming?
Yes, I have. And actually there was, lots of times they go numb while I'm playing. So I started wearing gloves now, which help my holding a drumstick. There was one point during it was a pretty big show, and it was at Rock in the Fields, which there's thousands of people, and of course the worst time during a drum break where it's just me playing. My hand started spasming, and bloop, there goes a drumstick. So it's just, little things like that. So now I place drumsticks in front of me, each side of my drum kit, just in case one drops out of my, a certain hand. I have one quickly to grab. And so just little things like that.
What has living with multiple sclerosis taught you about your own resilience?
Well, it's still teaching me about that daily. It's like my body-wise, I'm definitely affected, but I've been more affected mentally. It's just where most of my lesions are. It's affecting my memory and lots of brain fog, and I just have lots of trouble connecting the dots. So it's really taught me that I'm a fighter, and I'm willing to push through and do whatever I have to do to keep moving forward.
You run, as I mentioned, this annual 90s tribute charity concert you have for a number of years before it turned its attention to MS as you were
Yeah.
diagnosed. What does it mean to you, and how much more does it mean now that it will support MS Canada?
Well, it's always kind of been my baby, I guess you could say. I love putting the show on, and because it's a very unique show where it's not just three bands that are playing. So at the start, I reached out to a whole bunch of different musicians. So every musician is from a different band. And then, so we all come together on this night and split into three groups to make three bands for the night, I guess. So it's a really unique show, and it's kind of just it was always my favorite night of the year, my favorite show to be a part of or put on, and now it's just that much more special that it's that I'm able to raise money for something that is really close to me. So yeah.
Given that you understand this firsthand, where do you hope the money or the research might lead?
Well, hopefully to find a cure. But I don't know how close they are to that, or if they're even close at all. So just being able to raise money to go towards so that they can keep doing the research that they're doing. Like I know we won't raise millions of dollars in one night to end MS, but I imagine every little bit that they have helps.
What might you say to someone who might be listening and having, a lot of difficulty doing the things that they love because of the challenges that MS might present?
Well, it's I'm kind of still learning that too, being fairly new. But the only thing I can say is just keep pushing forward and doing as much as you can do to help yourself and to reach out to others, because most of what I've learned about MS and about how to do the things that I'm doing to help myself came from talking to other people who have gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge thing, is don't be afraid to reach out and talk to people.
What does it mean to you to have so much support from volunteers and community generosity to make your concert happen on Friday again?
Well, I've always known how Winnipeggers and Manitobans come together to cause, and this is no different. Like it really warms my heart, I guess, to get all the support that not always that I always get, but especially now when it's this close to me. It's just, it's been great, and it, like I say, it always is, but this is just a little bit more, special to me.
Of course. Good luck with your show, Clint, on Friday night. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
That's Clint Chaboyer, the organizer of the 90s Tribute Show 8. The MS Canada fundraiser happens at the Park Theatre on Friday if you want to head out and support. And for information, you can go to their Facebook page. You just search Annual 90s Tribute Show.
Thank you for watching the CBC Manitoba YouTube channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe. For the latest breaking news and top stories, download the CBC News app.